episode of Let Them See Your Mind. It's your girl LD Marie, and let's get started. So today, the topic speaks for itself. We talk about money. We talk about the realities of moving to a different country because your girl didn't have any idea. Sometimes people wanna front about how it's moving over here. I moved over here with just $1 and kind of built a life. I mean, some people have done that. Me, myself, I've done the move in a very difficult way. And honestly, I would say that I've moved twice within the last 2 years because me going from the United States to Southampton, and then 2 years later, I am in Slough. So, that is a lot of money. And I did some mistakes along the way, and we're going to talk about those. So, let's talk first about my move from the States to Southampton, United Kingdom. So, what my thing was when I was moving, I didn't move all of my stuff over here, but I moved a pretty good chunk of my stuff. So I had two big suitcases, a carry-on, and then also a couple of boxes, and that was it. No, I had the two suitcases, and then I had my carry-on, and then I had my backpack, and then I had 6 boxes shipped over here, with some of my things as well. That in itself, I would probably say it's too much. If you're going to move abroad, a lot of the stuff you can keep at home because, of course, you're going to go back home every now and again. But if you just have just enough, like your two suitcases, I think it would have been straight. Everything else you can just buy in your new country, depending on where you're going to. And for me, I felt like one of the lessons that I learned is I overpacked. And that is something that I end up having to bring stuff back because I overpacked. And especially with my move from Southampton to Slough and downsizing those things, yeah. And especially when during that move, that was a lot of money. So the ticket was, I would say, the ticket was I don't remember what the ticket was. I can tell you from dollars to pounds, it was very much expensive. But some of the stuff I did get paid back. A lot of the stuff I didn't. And so there was the plane ticket. There was like my baggage, and I had to pay overages because I packed too much. And that was additional money. And then coming over here, um, during that time, came over here. I was in an Airbnb for like 3 weeks. So that was money that was spent. And then also doing the moving costs, because I also bought a car within 11 days. I found my place and I moved in. I furnished my place and I did all of those things and added different things to my list. And in actuality, a lot of stuff that I bought, I didn't necessarily need to buy. Some people are cheaper than others, and I could have just went ahead if I would have done my research. If you just please, before you move, do your research about the certain country that you go to. I didn't do enough research, and that was my bad. I did not do enough research when it came to the United Kingdom. I did not know that majority of professionals, if they are single, they live either at their parents' house or they live in a shared accommodation, and they just have a room within a room. And sometimes with those shared accommodations like I'm currently in now, you share a bathroom. Luckily I do not, but that's part of the process. That's part of the things of living in the United Kingdom over here, is that there are certain things that normally, like at home, I was living by myself, had a good time, had a car, and was living my best life independently. Over here, it is not uncommon for you to be 30 years old and still living with your parents. Like, that's the thing. And it was just a shock to me in regards to that because, of course, money, we're all in a living crisis. So that's one thing. And it really just pushes it. But it's a very accepted culture here in the United Kingdom. So when I did dollars on dollars on dollars trying to save on myself, and then I show the actual reality of me staying on my own, that's when I ended up having to move in Tory in my old apartment so we can balance out the bills. But even then, it was just like just know before you go. And that was one of the money lessons that I had to face. But when I first moved over here, I had that same mindset of like pounds to dollars. Granted, I knew in my head that pounds was a little bit more compared to dollars, but I just didn't have idea of how much. And so what people think £5 over here, I'm thinking $5, and I'm like $5 is nothing when actually £5 is like $7, $8. And so like that, there's a difference with that, and you have to learn the process of the money that you are going to be going to when you go into a different country and living as an American expat. You kind of got to get out of the mindset of your dollar compared to their currency. And that was a lesson that I had to learn in regards to money. And so when I did move, the total cost from me moving from the States to Southampton, I would say about over $15,000. And I got like 8,000 back. Because I say $15,000 because I bought a car. So in buying a car, which was $4,000, in itself, that's knocking out like a good 11, so 11,000 right there. So and that's me getting a car, and that was also me getting all the other things like furnishing my apartment. Even though if you break down the prices, it's not really much when you break it down, but when you all add it together, the money moves, the money smart. So I was like, I could have just got into a shared accommodation and not had a whole flat to myself, and I would have had more money, and I wouldn't have been spending up on money that I didn't necessarily have, because I did have a little savings. I had like maybe 7,000 to 8,000, and then I also had like some money from what was it? I had money from my severance package still, because I didn't spend all of it. I just kind of divvied it out as much as I could. In regards to like I put it into IRA, then I paid off some credit cards, and that was the thing. I paid off my credit cards, and then I run them back up when I started the move here. So it was a lot. It was a lot of money that was spent. And so if I didn't have to buy the car, I probably would have spent like the 10, pretty much, and then 2,000 would have been out of the pocket right then and there, because I got like 8,000 back, and put it back where I needed to go. But still, that it's just the money thing. I feel like my lesson learned when I did the first move from the States to Southampton very much applied from my move from the Southampton to Slough, because of course now I am in a shared accommodation, and a lot of the furniture that I had, the couch, the dining room table, the bookshelf, my wardrobe, all those different types of things, I had to sell. And even with, I think the bookshelf and the dining room table, finito. Like we did hope smash on those two things because I could not sell them, and I had them on websites to sell them, and I literally sold my king size bed and mattress for like 100 quid, or even no, I think it was 50 quid, and I originally got like both for like 100 or 200, because I got the frame for, I think a frame for 50 and the frame for, and the bed, the mattress 100, so 150 pounds, and I couldn't even get that back, and I only got 50, and it was a good working bed. So the value of everything kind of went down because cost of living went up, and so I was just selling to get rid of, and that's what kind of happened. I ended up getting some money back, but not all of it. And then I sold my car because I don't need my car anymore. So I got some money from that, and that was the first move. To the second move, it was a lot smarter. I didn't spend a lot of money with my second move. A lot of it was just gas money coming from Southampton to Slough, and just little bits and pieces in order to make it kind of homey to me. It was making it a little bit good for me in order to be comfortable, because I had to pull out the home edit organization version of trying to make sure that I had everything, because I scaled down my clothes, I scaled down my shoes, I scaled down a lot of different things so it can be fit in here, and I only had so much stuff that I could bring with me. So like I bought a microwave and a kettle, but I didn't bring it here. I gave it to Tori. I we traded. She got the microwave, I got the air fryer, because we both bought the air fryer. We split the money, so very much I got the air fryer and she got the microwave. So I don't know if it was the actual fair trade of that, but you're gonna have to ask her. But even with that, it was just a lot of scaling down. And so my move from here to from Northampton to Slough, I would probably say the move was 5, 6, give or take, including gas money and everything else. Um, that was a move, but that's the initial cost of moving. But then also when you add in the deposit, the first month's rent, I would probably say 2,000. No, probably no more than two, but 2,500 pounds. I would say 2,500 pounds from my first move to the second move compared to the bigger move of 15 from the States to Southampton. Because granted, I sold my car, so I was very much in a surplus in this type of move. And the way that I was able to get out of my job and go into a new job, I didn't necessarily have to have money right then and there. It was a lot of it that was paid up for front, and I was able to get my last check, do those types of things, and be done with it. And no harm, no foul. So it was a lot cheaper to move, but unfortunately, because it was a lot cheaper to move, and I wasn't really working at the time. I'm still trying to readjust back into a pay system with this job and not necessarily the other job. So yeah, it's still a work in progress, and it's still those type of money issues. But the main point is, it takes a few coins to make the move, especially if you want to have a comfortable move, or if you just want just to have your bag, have your essentials, just literally have one suitcase and a backpack and move over here and you figure out everything else. That's probably the cheapest way to do it. But you have to do a lot of research. I'm going to say this again. You're going to have to do a lot of research in order to know, okay, well, I can get this done, not done, whatever, and still have everything situated. Because, I mean, a lot of the stuff that is in the United States is here in the United Kingdom. Now, if I would have moved to Ghana, if I would have moved to Nigeria, or Australia, or those type of things, I would have to do my research in order to know, like, what's the same here compared to over there, what's the plug like, what are those types of different things like. So, but now I got a pretty good adjustment on the money situation. So my first move, $15,000. I want to say that dollars, $15,000, and then my move from Southampton to Slough, about 2,500 pounds, 2,500 quid, and that's the equivalent in the U.S. probably 3,000, and I'm probably off a little bit, but that's probably 3,000, and so. And it was a lot cheaper just to move. But of course, when you're moving when you're moving and you're constantly starting over, and then yeah, that is something that kind of happens. But at the same time, you need to know, whatever country that you find yourself in, if you want to make that move, you want to make that jump, whether you're like, I'm sick of America and I want to go somewhere, whether it be in the United Kingdom, whether it be in Dubai, because I have a friend now. Hey girl, hey. Have a friend, she's just moved to Dubai and experiencing life. No, Abu Dhabi. No, she moved to Abu Dhabi. My bad. She moved to Abu Dhabi. And there are opportunities for us to move and explore, because the world is a lot bigger than the United States. It's a lot bigger than Atlanta. It's a lot bigger than Dallas, Texas. It's a lot bigger than Los Angeles, California. And we just have to get out there and go. So I encourage you, if this is something for you and you're just waiting on a sign to say like money is the issue, save your coins. At least have a good little savings pot for you if you're not going to be able to go to work. Now, if you're in the United Kingdom, there's probably only 3 ways that you can do it right now: is work visa, partnership visa, or student visa. And the cheapest one out of those 3 is student visa. Unless you're doing a different profession, there's other visas. Now, I'm just saying these are the top 3 that people use to come over here. But those prices have now increased on visas. And luckily, when me moving jobs, I want to point that out, me moving jobs, my job paid for my new visa. So I have an additional 3 years now. But just to say that, is if you're wanting to move over here, do your research for United Kingdom, do your research for Abu Dhabi, do your research for Japan, do your research for South Africa, wherever you want to go. Please do your research in order for you to have just a small pot of what you're going to do, and set a budget. Don't overspend. Don't kind of just like, eh. Setting a budget always gives you a clear picture of what's going on with your money, and that's what you need to do moving ahead. So, but thank you so much for watching me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos, and go on to my Instagram and my Facebook for more updates in regards to Let Them See Your Mind. We're also on, not only here on YouTube, but we're also on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon and Google. So thank you so much for watching, and we are out.